I got another one down. Hold on, dealing with my battery right now. There you go. Alright, this is the battery that I normally run in my AEG. This is what I usually start off with. For me, one thing I've learned when running, you know, MOSFET systems, EFCSs, ETUs, etc., especially the more mid-tier to high-tier ones like the gates and stuff like that, having a solid battery, an ultra performance battery, helps to kind of make sure that you're getting the consistent voltage to your ETU as possible. So that's kind of what you're looking for, as well as having the longest run time, as well as being able to shoot more BBs. So that's kind of what I look at here. I do have generic high performance backup batteries, and then I have one standard performance battery that I use as backup to the T238, because the T238 lasts forever. Like, when I say forever, I mean forever. Typically, this is an impulse battery. This is the ultra performance batteries of lineup. So these ones actually come in multiple sizes. So this one's a 1400 milliamp. I specially requested the 1400 because I wanted a higher milliamp battery that I can use for longer, so that I'm not always swapping out in between at an event, or in between like in the middle of the day. If you watch my content at all, you know 100% that I like to shoot. So 1400 milliamps does really great with providing that overall performance longevity that I desire. Like I said, the other batteries I run are like a 1200s and some like small 1200s. They work, but they're just like basic standard slash high performance batteries. I think one's a standard performance battery, and the other one is a high performance battery. Yeah, one's a standard, the other one's a high performance. But the idea is that, you know, beyond the weird self technological stuff talked about, like it's a battery at the end of the day. The idea is, does it send enough voltage to power your ETU or your MOSFET unit, or does it EFCS unit, what is called the ETU, you know what I mean? Does it do that, as well as to get that motor running and when you pull the trigger and cycle everything effectively? Yes, it does that. A lot of batteries do that, especially in airsoft when you're using like 20C to 40C batteries. Good thing is that you could go 40C in a gate if you wanted to. Your gate is going to protect your motor and your battery at the same time while you're using a higher seed rating battery. But T238 only sends theirs in 30C. The reason, so what you're getting, and I'm actually going to pull out another battery in comparison. So this is a Gen ACO battery, and I'm just bringing this out in comparison. I don't know if you guys can see the little letters and stuff down here. I'll just try to bring it up closer. So we're just using this as a comparison so you can see the overall performance value here. So you see here we have 11.1 Lipo. You have a 13.32 watt hours with the Gen ACO. This is basically this is a smaller airsoft battery company that makes airsoft batteries. I forgot how I found them. They do have a website. I bought this from their website. This is a 15. This one has 15.54 watt hours. You see here a discharge rate of 25C and then a discharge rate of 30C. This is the first version of batteries. I know that they're going to consistently make better ones. And this uses a pulse discharge as opposed to a consistent continuous discharge. Don't ask. They're seemingly, you won't know the difference when you're using it, but the battery will, the ETU will, like everything will know the difference while it's using it, like the electronic components will, but you won't. You would just plug it in and it's just a battery. So by comparison, I get a higher wattage hour with this particular battery, and this is my battery that has the highest C discharge rate. So if more C's need to be pulled for whatever given source that it needs, that I don't know, sometimes the ETU does whatever the hell the ETU wants to do, then it can do that. If a higher wattage needs to be pulled, it can do that. So I've actually looked at my gate app before, and I've inspected that sometimes it pulls even out of 11.1. Sometimes it will pull like 12 to 13. Sometimes I think one time it pulled like 14 volts out of the battery. How does it do that? The magic of T238, I guess, you know what I mean? But it has done that, you know what I mean? But the typical ampage that it runs off of is about 11 to 12. So like I said, there's a lot of technological stuff that goes on here. So with the battery usages and battery understandings, I just don't want to dive into it right now. 1400 milliamp is a-okay. Like usually 14 to 2K is great. Like if you have 1400 to 2K, you're good. I usually don't like going below 1400. That's why I have my two 1200s as backups. This 1400 battery gets you about up to 4,500 BBs. So that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say up to 4,500 maximum, and minimum you're going to get about 3K minimum. Yeah, 3K minimum. The battery's going to last longer if you have a ETU. These batteries are designed, these are ultra performance batteries that are designed to be used with ultra performance or high performance ETUs. So you got to kind of think of it that way. So if you're running, this is why like high performance or ultra performance batteries were created, like kind of in a sense in the first place, is to make sure that you're getting enough voltage to power your system. And yeah, because technically your high-end MOSFETs like the T238 ones and the Peruns, the Jeffron Leviathans, the Gates, the Kestrel V2s from E-Shooter, they pull a lot of voltage sometimes. And I've witnessed this in, like I said, in my GCS app and stuff like that. They pull a lot of voltage sometimes, and so having the ability to for the battery to work with that voltage pool is great. T238 batteries do a really good job with that. Titan batteries do a good job with that. Yeah, Titan batteries do a hell of a good job with that. The T238 batteries, do a superb job with that. So this is the battery I usually start off with. And then when this one, when I get my little low voltage warning, and then the gearbox decides it does, and then everything says, hey, I don't want to work no more, you know what I'm saying, because you don't have enough voltage to power me, then I just pull it out and I swap it. Usually, even with my fancy trigger finger and all that kind of good stuff, I could usually, one battery could this battery could usually last me about the first, I would say, day to day and a half of an event, and then I find myself swapping batteries. But that's just due to the high discharge rate with this thing. It does have a high discharge rate, but it also has a high watt hour rate, so it's kind of built to do a high discharge over a long period of time. Don't ask all the technical stuff. Like I said, for people that are into RC and they understand batteries and all that kind of good stuff, they can probably answer that question in the comment section a little bit better, or explain it in a lot much more ample detail than I can. All I know is that this is the battery that I start off with, no matter what I'm doing. Like, my guns are powered by T238. Like, literally, I start off with T238 batteries, and then I go to my other batteries as backup. You know what I'm saying? When this one dies on me, or not dies, but gets too low voltage, and that's why I enjoy running ETUs, because ETUs save your battery, so you're not bringing your you're not just fully draining your battery. You're like, they stop it at a certain voltage. Like, hey, we can't pull more than 7.4 out of this right now, so we're going to need you to take this out and swap it. That's literally what your ETU is. Your the high-end ETUs are going to say. The mid-end ETUs, they can go off about 5 to 6 voltage, even with the 11 ones. But and there's just simple ETUs. I think they can run off like 3.2 or whatever, and then they'll shut you down. But other than that, like, my gates would literally just scream at me. My gates would scream at me like, wee, like, you know what I mean? Like, the Falcons would scream at me, and all the other ETUs that I've used would just scream at me and say, hey, too low voltage, please switch, So that's a good thing, because it saves and protects your battery from overuse and being actually fully drained, because you don't want to fully drain a Lipo battery. And yes, this is a Lipo battery, not a Li-ion battery, so just kind of keep that in mind. That is specified on the website, even though that is not here on the actual battery itself. And don't feel bad, because my other batteries don't even specify that either. So some batteries don't specify it, other batteries do. I prefer Li-ion batteries. I wish they made the Li-ion versions, because I prefer the Li-ion batteries over Lipos. I do wish they made Li-ions. Hopefully in the future they will make Li-ions, and I will buy Li-ions or request a Li-ion. But other than that, like I said, you guys know this channel is sponsored by T238, so they power. When I say that they power the channel, I mean literally when I step on the field, I literally plug in a T238 battery and it powers my guns in order for me to play. That is the battery that I start with every game day. And I run through its maximum shot capacity, which, like I said, is about 3,000 to 4,500 BBs, depending on the settings that I have on my ETUs, however I program it. I know that on certain ETUs they last more shots, and on other ETUs, depending on the programming, they last less. Because voltage pool and all that kind of good stuff, and things to keep in mind. So I would definitely recommend these. These are definitely as good as Titan batteries. Not better, but as good. I would put them on the same plane as Titan batteries. I like Titan batteries. Titan batteries are great. But the difference between this battery and a Titan, I've only seen Titans go up to 25C. You don't really need 30, 35, 40C. If you don't really need it. You're just like depleting your battery faster anyway when you do that. But I mean, 30C makes sure that you're getting tip-top performance. tip top performance, you know what I'm saying? 35, even better performance, but overall 30C is a good, comfortable number. And a lot of ETUs, like a lot of the lower end ETUs, can't handle 30C. They need like 15 to 20C, you know what I mean? And they can sometimes do 25, you know. A lot of the mid-end ETUs, they can only do 25C and under. But high-end ETUs like Gate, etc., etc., T238 ones as well can use 30C or higher. I know people that use 30 and 35C in like the low and mid-end ones, but they end up like damaging their contacts, damaging the battery, and damaging a lot of the other components because it's just not built for that, you know. You need to have a voltage ETU that regulates the voltage and pulls only what it needs in order to do so. Not every ETU is built the same, and not every ETU does that. So kind of keep that in mind if you're going to be running 30C plus batteries. I only recommend this battery to people that are using high and ultra performance ETUs from T238, Gate, Perun, E-Shooter, as well as Jeftron and other high-end ultra performance ETUs. I would definitely recommend the T238 battery for that purpose. You're roughly going to be spending about $20 to $40 for one of these batteries, depending on if it's on sale or not. You can use 2Cracked at checkout, get you a little discount off a battery or two. But if you don't shoot that much, this battery can last you a full entire weekend. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're only planning on like running through maybe 500 to 1,000, maybe like 1,000 BBs, maybe 1,500 BBs in a game day or in an event day, less than 2K, less than 3K, you know what I mean? This battery will last you the entire time. And it will last you even longer if your ETU has an auto shut off feature. So like if you're not using it after a certain period of time, usually an hour, it literally shuts the power down to the battery. You have to unplug it and replug it. I've had that happen to me at Thunderdome. My ETU system, I was using my Double Eagle and I had the Falcon system, and I was not using it for a extended period of time, and it literally shut it down to save battery life. So like I said, to me, a good ETU is invaluable to having solid performance on the field. But having a solid battery to power that ETU and to power that gearbox and to get all the voltage and stuff that you need to the gearbox and the ETU is like invaluable as well to keeping you on the field, like literally. So they both go hand in hand. That is one reason why I switched all my setups over to more high performance / ultra performance ETUs. And I'm only going to be using ultra performance, high performance ETUs in my setups going forward. But having a solid high performance, ultra performance battery to go with that, and to just to do what it needs to do is a perfect option for any end user. So I don't want to keep repeating what I've been saying and dragging it on. I'm a firm believer of having a good battery and having a solid battery to power your system. Screw the Amazon batteries; they don't really do much. I would definitely recommend this to anyone wanting a serious battery for serious play. 1100 milliamps, 1400 milliamps, and then I know there is one more. I forgot the milliampage of it, but there's one more. I think they're all 11.1, but they do have like I said, a post discharge. That's what they call it, the impulse batteries, but they have a post discharge rate. Fancy word for fancy stuff that, you know, you can Google it if you want to know more information about that. But other than that, that's it. Like I said, you can find these in the link in the description below. You can use 2Cracked at checkout for any of your electronic needs. To be honest with you, any of your needs like that. Yet I'm gonna have to like do a T238 build. Yeah, we'll do that eventually. All right, peace and blessings. Love you guys.